Hello, I'm Lynn Strowell, and welcome to episode 9 of Enigmatica 2. I'm still playing on the FTOG server, of course, and last time we made... Can I get this in the picture? Yeah, we made liquid starlight with these aquamarine crystals. And I think we have quite a bunch of starlight right now, which is good. And I used them to increase the statistics of my rock crystals. Now these will have a cutting of 100% and a size of 400. And what happens if you drop them in and wait for them to split? At some point you will get purity of 100%. Unfortunately, these aren't very useful, but that's basically how it works. And soon we'll be doing the same with better crystals than these. And the first thing we need to do to get there, and we can actually have a quick look here as well, we should get into star metal. Star metal requires us first of all to make a linking tool. And I need, of course, my resonating wand. Recipe is fairly simple, just some wood sticks, one of the rock crystals, statistics don't matter, and aquamarine. And we use the linking tool to link a crystal, a starlight crystal, to something else. And the thing we're going to link it to is, in this case, an iron ingot. Sorry, iron ore. So let's grab a bunch of these and we're gonna head back to the altar where we first made our tools. This is one of those altars you find in the wild, where I created my astral crafting table as well as the resonating wand. I took out the center bits, right, the water and the pillars here, and I made it so the crystal has actually got access now towards the stars. I also removed the water here and replaced them with sea lanterns, so it was quite annoyingly loud. Place a block of iron and then we right click the crystal and we right click the block of iron, and now you can see particles emitting from the iron block. And for this the crystal does need access to the sky according to the book. Focus beams of starlight have other uses besides looking pretty. Oh, wow, that was quick. We can do a few more. Just replace this one. It's actually a lot quicker than I had figured. So I'm gonna convert all of these and then we'll head back to the base. Now, if you look at the uses you have for the star metal ore, there's ways to get stardust and there's way to get star metal ingots, and we're gonna need both of these. So you can grind them on the grindstone from astral sorcery, and you have a chance for a double one, and these you can actually smelt to become the ingots, and the ingots can also be ground to become stardust, so they're quite interchangeable. Oh, I just found that the star metal ore can be processed by mechanism. So let's insert these into the input, switch on the ore processing, and yeah, let's wait for them to come out. So at this stage I'm actually taking out some of them. Let's take out 16 of these as stardust and let the rest melt into star ingots. So we got ourselves a stack of ingots and 16 stardust. And like I said, these can always be interchanged from one to the other. I'm gonna leave my support gases site running a bit so it can catch up. Next few steps in the book would be the celestial altar. Telescope we've done a crystal lens. I don't much see the purpose of these right now. Attunement, that will be next one as well, but I want to make better crystals, and I think I first need to get the celestial altar before it will unlock that chapter in the book. So we add a few materials here for the, did I do this right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did this right. So it's stardust, chiseled, marble, pillar, and chiseled. Chiseled, marble, pillar, chiseled. Yeah, we just need a bit more starlight. Actually, before we do that, there is something else I should make, which is the sextant, which I can make with this altar. I wouldn't be able to make that after upgrading the altar towards the celestial one, because my celestial altar initially will not work. Let's see, in here we can see that the celestial altar requires a different type of structure around it. Right? Without this structure, you can't use it. So you can't even use it to craft lower tier recipes. You have to do that before you upgrade. So now that we know this, we can set up the celestial altar crafting again and wait for night. Well, now that the moon is higher up in the sky, it shows us the next tier crafting table. Finally. This is really, I love this. These cool effects, all the particles. I mean, it takes a while. But it's cool to watch while it's happening. Ding! Fries are done. We now have an even larger crafting grid. But it's not feathered. We knew that, right? We knew it was gonna happen. That's why I made this before. So I'm gonna sneak click the altar. And it should actually show me. Let's take out these blocks for now. Maybe it was sneak right click, though I'm pretty sure the wiki says sneak click. Sneak right click, this is it. And now it shows me what do I need to place where. It doesn't actually help me click them, but it shows me that this is all going to be sooty marble. Also tells me that some blocks here are wrong. So I'm going to replace all of that to make sure that we have a feathered altar. Sometimes it's easier to see what bricks you need to place than other times. These all, I would say, are regular marble. They are, but not for that one. Okay. Do you want, you don't want chiseled. Let's see. What would you want in the iridescent altar? No. Oh, sure. Hang on. Of course, that's a new chapter. We haven't been there yet, is it? Right. So we want this structure. Okay, so there's bricks around it. And then apparently... Oh yeah, you can actually see there's a small line there. And then this would be regular. Okay, clear. And then it shows for the next Lego. That is really useful. Oh, by the way, I upgraded my chisel. Although, not too sure if I like it that much. I think this has to be ruined. I mean, it's nice, it's got better durability. But, oh, sorry. I don't like, oh, it's, you know, once you're in it, you can no longer split your stacks, for example, which is rather annoying. Else we need chiseled. And that's it, right? You should be happy now. And you are. Also, the moon is disappearing, so is our starlight. It seems I was wrong, and we haven't unlocked the new chapter yet. And I probably won't until I tune myself. So we're gonna go over to the attunement altar, and So we've done the Celestial Altar attunement, and then I'm hoping it will show us some more updates. First thing I'm gonna craft is a bunch of these relays. There. One of them we're gonna use in the recipe for the attunement altar, which apparently is gonna need more starlight. All the way filled up. Let's hope we can have night long enough to make our attunement, what's it called? Altar. Okay, that was actually not too bad. And I think we have to set it up right here. Here? Is this the center? No, it's not. Oh, Lynn, this is horrible. It's all the blackness. It's hard to... Okay, I think this is right. So let's get our sextant out and let's see what we're missing. Oh, we are properly centered. Just need a bunch of these crystals here. So let me collect all the items. Let's see. Here it is. Let me collect all the items. Once the structure is complete, you will see the white sparkles from Astral Sorcery. This one doesn't have a GUI, so you wouldn't see it there. But you can clearly tell that the sparkles will not be going away. This block, by the way, is purely optional. You can leave it out. It's actually showing up as empty in the drawing, but it can be anything you want. Now, the next thing is to find a constellation that we want to attune ourselves to, right? Now, each of these constellations have different perks, and you won't, apart from what's in here, it's hard to tell what the actual effects will be, but you can look stuff up online a little bit. And I decided to go with FTOG, if that's the way you pronounce it, because I looked up and at some point I'm gonna have haste and faster swimming, all these other things. So that's pretty cool. So we need to get the FTOG constellation. We need to get our spectrals. How much do we need actually? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have to wait for night and for FTOG to be in the sky. While we wait for that, I wanted to show you that I made the Tome of Knowledge, which is fairly simple, which is lapis, book, and some emeralds. And what it does is it stores my experience. So it's currently auto-collecting, but I can also right-click it if I have any experience. And if I hold Shift and I right-click, I get some levels back. So when I need levels, they're all stored in here, and even if I die, which so far I haven't yet, I will not lose my levels. Now it can only hold 10,000 experience, but we can enchant this, and at some point we will enchant this with level, what is it, holding? Level 3 holding? Yes. So we need to make a holding for which I think I'm going to use the enchanter. It's not all that hard. And then we'll hold 3 times as much, I think. Well, it's getting night, but I think yesterday was a full moon. So this is the moon after full moon. Now, it's a bit hard to tell, but if you look at the constellations here, this moon you're now seeing, although it looks like this, it's actually this moon because we're seeing it from the different angle. If the moon comes all the way over there, it will look like this, and then there will not be a FTOG, or tomorrow night. So we have to wait for 2 more days to pass. The past night it was just more than half, right? It was half plus a bit of a circle. So now it's less. It's just about half now, which matches what what I'm showing here. Basically, we're going from slightly over half to half, less than half. Less than half is what we need to have VCO. Now, there's some other people on the server, and that means, we have to share the daytime and nighttime. And Wolfpack actually have a way to make it night, and they've already offered to do so. But I also know that they and Heath are working with the colonies, and they need daytime. So I'm just going to be patient, wait another day, and see if I can do some odd jobs in between. For example, I put a lever here that can switch off the conduit from a drawer. Right? I can show you if I switch it off. I place a block. I won't get any aquamarine placed. Nice, it's off. Now it's on, and we should get a block. Similarly, this one is currently deactivated because of a redstone signal from here. It's actually fairly simple. There's a bit of redstone powder underneath the block that transfers the signal towards the fluid placer. And this way, things can be turned off if I don't want them. But I still want more starlight. For now, I'll leave it running. And for now, I'll wait for another night. This is the right moon, and on the horizon we can see VCO is appearing. Right there. And I was telling them I was waiting for VCO, and I had to wait 2 nights for it. Ah, well, anyway, it's there. Now, it won't be high enough yet, I think, for my attunement altar. Oh, actually it is. Cool. So, while holding the constellation paper in my hand, you can see blue particles appearing, and that's where we should be placing a relay, like so. Although, it's much easier if you keep one of them in your offhand, and place relays, like this. And actually, what we're placing down are the positions of the stars of the constellation. I don't know if you can already see it, but with the last one, you should. There it is. So now this attunement altar is set to attune things and people to the VCO constellation. So what I'm not going to do is drop myself in the center. I'm not touching anything. I'm not, for some reason, I'm taking a lot of damage. But I'm being attuned. You can see all the nice particles. Constellation becomes even brighter on the ground. Takes a while. Now I'm attuned. This is rather annoyingly loud, by the way, so I'm gonna just, for now, break it. Also, I don't need any other attunements to VCO. But I'm now attuned to myself. And the great thing is that, being attuned, I now have access to the dim constellations. So there are 5 bright constellations that we found before. There are 7 dim constellations and 4 faint. So these ones still say there's nothing here, but if I take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we've now discovered 7 additional constellations. Well, the papers at least. We'll go into the telescope to find them in the sky. So good at this. What would this one be? 3 stars like this, I think. This may be octants. And no, I'm not that good, but I have some on my other screen. So, I'm gonna try and find the constellations. However, I think we should be able to move on now a bit. Let's have a look at the book. Did we get a new chapter yet? No, we did not. Interesting. Oh, did we have this one before? Oh, we didn't have this one before. Okay, so it is Constellation that's new. Okay. Also, we got a new chapter here because I'm now attuned to Visio, and that's just my status now, and that gives me some additional effects. And currently, I get an additional reach. So normally, if you place blocks, you can or break blocks, it's like 5 away or something, and now it should be 1 further away, I think. And then there are what they call perks of the attunement, and there's a whole big map of them. And in this case, I've started with Visio, and then I can gain points, and I select additional perks. For every point that I gain, and I currently have 2 points, you can also see it here, so I can move 2 steps, like on a game board. Now, I only have these 2 options, so increase movement speed, and a bit more increased movement speed. You can see my field of view changing a bit, and this one is currently locked until I get another point. And from here, I can choose whether I want to have increased movement towards rapid pace or towards swift, or if I want to have increased perk effects, or towards minus delight, or towards hiking boots, etc. And if you gain enough perks, you can unlock everything here. And in this case, I gain experience being perks by traveling the world. So, anyway, what I really wanted to see in the book is how do you call it? Celestial crystals. And these are the better crystals than the ones that we got from the rock crystal, right? Right, I'm back at the altar, and I've made a few modifications. So the whole center piece is gone with the water, because we now want star axis towards this crystal. And I set up a iron ore and some glass. And the first thing I'm going to do is link the crystal again to the iron ore. I also, by the way, put a mega torch underneath here because I was going crazy on the mobs here. So this will turn, once it becomes darker, into star metal ore. And then, let's see, take off the magnet. We drop in 1 dust and 1 dust. Can I drop in a dust? Thank you. And a rock crystal. And this is gonna react with the ore. You can see the lovely blue particles coming off of that. And this should form a nice crystal. There you go. And you can also see that the star metal has turned back into iron. That is because this is still quite a small crystal. We can put this one back on. Thank you. So it needs to grow. And it's gonna draw energy from the star metal ore to grow. And the star metal ore will turn back into iron ore. But because it's still linked to the collector crystal, it will turn back again into star metal ore and help with the growing of the crystal. Now we need to wait for the crystal to be fully grown. Oh, I thought the particles were white meant it was finished, but it's still at stage 0, and it needs to grow up to stage 4. I'll give it a bit more time. That's weird that it had white particles. Oh, maybe that was just the iron ore changing, I guess. Been a while. Actually, it's been over a day. Because first I crashed. Well, our modem crashed, and then the server restarted, and it was actually bedtime. It was taking forever. But now we have a stage 4 crystal, which is the highest tier. And let's break it, and let's see what we get. We get 1 celestial crystal. Oh, we're so lucky. We are so lucky. So normally, you do this multiple times until you get a celestial crystal with a nice high purity. And I got 92 first go. How nice is that? Cool. So now, I wanna, oh, we have Sorry, I thought we had a trader. No, we don't. Now, I want to grow these to be size 900, cutting 100, and purity 100, right? And there's a few things that we want to do for that, and there's one thing I want to automate right now with a pulsating crystal to make a vacuum chest. And the vacuum chest is just really nice. It can collect all kinds of items that are dropped. So if I take up my magnet and I drop a rock crystal, items like, yeah, I'll take that. Now, we don't need this much space. In fact, the smallest one would still be enough. The second thing I want, and honestly, I'm not entirely sure which tier I want, is the Draconic Evolution Detector. With a Draconic core, and nothing really spectacle. But what I need to know is if this, let's see, if I can have a range of say 2 blocks. Pulse delay is fine. I want to have minimum number of detected entities required to produce a redstone signal of 1. See, I can't have this more than, okay. So I wanted to detect when I have 2 items. So I'm probably gonna need to make the advanced one, which is just a bit more redstone lapis and a wither skeleton skull. And now I can tell this to have a threshold. Oh, aha, I should have had, oh well, maybe the first one was okay, but I'm sure this is gonna work anyway. So basically what's gonna happen, I'm gonna place this here, and we have some really annoying zombie out here. Thank you. So if I say a range of 2 blocks, it doesn't show me the range. Oh, but it does need RF. Okay, I need to get another energy cell. Link the card. And now we have an energy cell that we can use there. I like this. I like that. Now, this is powered. You are. So you're gonna have a range of 2 blocks, a pulse delay of, I think 2 seconds should be fine. A max threshold of 2 and a min threshold of 2. So it needs 2 items to send out a redstone signal. This is gonna be active with a redstone signal. Right, so now if I drop a rock crystal or anything, oh actually I should also tell it he should only pick up on other items, not on players or mobs and whatnot. Right, fixed output mode, pulse output mode, I think fixed is fine. So 1 crystal, nada. 2 crystals. You should now be, so you, of course 2 second delay. You gave off a signal and you gave 2 rock crystals. You picked up 2 rock crystals. Right. Again, 1 item. Nothing's gonna happen. It's gonna stay there until it despawns. No way that this vacuum chest is gonna pick it up because it does not receive a redstone signal. But now it should. Right? So that's the first thing we're gonna set up. So the same setup, but now over here. I had this placed next to the fluid placer first, but it has to be kitty cornered because otherwise the fluid placer passes the redstone signal and this will pick up with redstone signal. This one is placed below, but it's big enough at the shortest range even to pick up items. So 1 item will not be picked up. 2 items will be picked up. Now, if you're thinking, wow, Lynn, you're so clever. How did you figure this out? Well, I am clever, thank you. And I'm clever in that I watch Grok's videos, and Grok showed this in one of his videos, and apparently he got this from somebody else, Meckle or Meckley something, but I don't think they have a channel. So I'm gonna link to Doc's channel. Okay, first thing we're gonna do though is grow this crystal to be bigger. And then we're gonna cut it to get a higher cutting. And then I'm gonna take up my magnet so I don't pick it up all the time. This crystal grew to 900. I also increased cutting and grew it back to 900. So now we need this crystal to split so the purity can go up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in here, have this autofill with liquid starlight, and as soon as this thing here picks up 2 items in this area, it's going to send a signal to my vacuum chest and it's going to pick them up. My vacuum chest is connected currently to this automatic precision dropper. And what this does is it drops the item. Cool, huh? Yeah. The only problem is it drops all the items. And regardless of what's there already. Right? So we don't want that. We only wanted to drop an item when there's nothing there. So I made a second advanced entity detector, and I also verified it has to be advanced because otherwise you can't have here a filter for other. So it has to be. It's currently sending a signal to this redstone lamp when I get one item in the area right here. Right? This signal we want to send to the dropper because the dropper is set to deactivation on redstone. Okay, so let's put a redstone connection here. And this is getting slightly more complex, but not too bad. You are gonna output on a red a strong signal, and you're going to input red. So now you should not be dropping in any other items as long as this one is there. If I pick this up, it drops a second item, which I also picked up. So this is correct. This is now gonna drop my items, right? And my items are actually being pulled out of the chest into the dropper. This at the bottom has an item conduit from Ender.io, which is extract on brown, always active, and this one has an insert on brown. We're ignoring this second chest for now. There's also a chest here, which is also extracting on brown, always active, in case I want to have manual input to the process. Although I guess I could just drop them into there. This is nicer. So if I drop them in here, they'll also get output here into the area. Until it splits, at which point this one will pick them up and we'll send them here. Until we get one that is 900, 100, 100. Right, now let's make this look nice. And we can switch it on. And this will, the placement was a bit of a pain. Because of all the redstone signals crossing, so I had to put this one a block lower, otherwise it would send a signal to this vacuum chest, which I don't want. But actually it was sending a signal through this chest to that chest, which I don't want. It's sometimes really annoying how redstone signals pass along. Now, I see that I've been placing the wrong blocks here, but that's okay, I'll fix that. I finally got my 900, 100, 100 celestial crystal. It's split 4 times, and I've always just continued with the highest ones. This was the lowest after the first time, and this was the lowest after the second time, third. And so it's actually split 3 times. And the last one, I've grown until it became 900. So now that we have a perfect crystal, we can set up the second vacuum chest. And what we're first gonna do is make a filter, which is just a hopper and 2 pieces of paper. And the filter is going to be whitelisting only the 900. Oh, I just realized I need an advanced filter for that, right? Because I need an advanced item filter because then I can define NBT data. So I need a Z-logic controller. So I need a slice and splice, which is a skull, a soul machine chassis, and okay, we haven't done that yet. Oh, that was stupid of me. Yeah. Let's see, what time is it? It's okay. We have to. I wanna keep an eye on the daytime for today. Let's see. We need a advanced item filter, so we need a Z-logic controller, so we need a slice and splice, we need a soul chassis, solarium skull, bimetallic energetic alloy, which we've done in the alloy smelter. We've done those. We've done bimetals, the iron bar. Solarium is gold and soul sand in the alloy smelter, which is easy. I need soul attuned dye. And we haven't gotten any organic brown powder yet. Soul powder is solarium ground down. Nether quartz dust easier. Organic black dye we might still have somewhere, or otherwise it was not too hard to make with just some coal and a slime ball. But organic brown dye is a new thing for us. So what do we have? Brown. Oh, we can do cocoa beans. I got plenty of those. 6 and 1 made the black dye, I think, right? Oh, yes. I think we may have a bit of lag on the server. Yeah, the overworld is at 7 TPS. That's quite bad. Okay. Overworld at 9. Anyway, I got 2 black dyes. Slime ball, cocoa beans, and pulverized coal should make the organic brown dye. So now I just need soul sand. Let's just do a stack of that with a stack of soul sand. And smelt that up. Meanwhile, I'll gather all the rest of the ingredients. 2 infinity bimetal gears. 2 energized bimetal gears. Advancements made. Nice. Okay. I got the organic brown, organic black, and everything else was quite simple. And I have a simple machine chassis that's quite simple. You're done. And so now you and you go in here to make a simple machine chassis. To make a soul chassis, sorry. Might be a quest. Might not be a quest. Slice and splice? Are you a quest? Yes, you are. Cool. Now, this needs a... let's see, capacitor. This would be pretty good, right? We don't need it that much, but now it's gonna take all the energy. It also needs shears and an axe to operate. Yeah, it's quite a crude machine. And doesn't sound that nice either. But now we have a Z-logic or Z-logic controller with some redstone away and paper, and I should have some left in here to make the advanced item filter. Right, that's what we wanted. Now I can tell it whitelist celestial crystals, but match metadata and match NBT. So if we run back to our flower, what time is it? Oh, it's still day. I was hoping today would be a solar eclipse. I think the maths may have been off here. Okay, let's go back in here. This vacuum chest is going to pick up everything in a range of 1, although it's not active right now. It will now be always active. So it's always going to pick up, but only with the advanced item filter. So if I take a non-perfect crystal and throw it, not wearing my magnet. Yeah, I'm smart like that now. It's not going to be picked up by the vacuum chest. If I have the perfect crystal, that will be picked up. And it will be sent to my output chest right here. So that was the last part of our automation. Yes, this vacuum hop for a vacuum chest here is going to pick up crystals when they are not perfect, but if there's 2 of them. Yeah, so once the perfect one is actually this is going to be a bit tricky because I can't use this one to split. I need to have this disabled for now, right? Because I need to first start splitting again. So now when this is in here, actually it could be dropped in there, right? It's gonna split and they are not gonna be perfect. And 2 of them are gonna get in here. Right? And I wonder if they will keep a perfect cutting. I may have to go back to see how Grok did this. At least the splitting should be automatic by now. So this is going to be left in here, and it's going to split, go in there, and etc, etc. And they're just going to grow and split until I get a ton of them, because I'm going to need at least 2, 3 for what I want to do next. 3, yes. And if you're wondering what I'm doing in the meantime, is I'm placing chisel and bits. I've been doing hours and hours of chisel and bits, and I don't work with the glass normally because it's hard to work with, so I work with a temporary material, and when I'm done I replace it with the glass. Although I might turn this into clear glass eventually, and I might even open up the dome like a, maybe with a pie slice like you would see with a proper observatory. It's taking a bit of time, but it's okay because I was waiting for my crystals. And I was waiting for the solar eclipse, which is not happening today. There you saw it split, you saw 2 items being picked up and then dropped back into the liquid. Or at least one of them was picked up, I guess. And the other one was left there because there were no longer 2 items in the liquid. So now we have 2 crystals from 1 with 100 purity. So today should be eclipse day. Again, I was a day off and I thought it was yesterday. So let's see what it does. This is what the solar eclipse looked like. Well, this is the start of the solar eclipse. And yeah, we're having a bit of TPS problem because the wolf pack is cleaning out a chunk, or a couple of chunks right now, and they run into some liquids that Minecraft is struggling to deal with, but they're working to clean it up. I'm not bothered. It's fine. It just means the sun is bouncing a little bit. But it's definitely a solar eclipse. Meanwhile, I've taken out 1 celestial crystal that has grown to 655, right? The other one has now been placed into the water. So 655, 34. 1, 2. See how far we get. 61950. 575, 75. So if this gets to 100 cutting, and I drop it back into my precision dropper, then it can grow back. So at some point I should take this one out. Right? I should take this one out at some point. It's really small right now, so I don't want to cut it. And then, okay, this above, then it can grow to become a perfect crystal. And you can be enabled with the filter because you're not going to put out anything yet anyway. No, I didn't break anything else. So this one, next time it grows to a 900, it will come in here. And that's going to happen once I take out this one, which I just do with my magnet every now and then. Okay, the reason I wanted solar eclipse is if I look at the constellations in my book, I've gotten the first 5. You've seen that before. I attuned myself. Those are what they call the bright constellations. Those are 5, and they're quite simple. The next 7 are the faint ones. So there's Fornax, Horologium, Boots, Luciana Octans, and Pelotrio, whatever. And then there's a few more dim ones, the 4 that we're going to come to later. I've discovered all of these, although it is not clear when it's going to be shown, but I have all the information now about what they do and what the effects are for everything except Horologium. Now, I already know what Horologium does, and it's quite powerful. It increases tick rate, so it can speed up a lot of things, you know. It's a lot like my acceleration wand. It accelerates tick rate in the vicinity of the ritual. And because it's so powerful, they've also made it harder to use. And it only shows up the single night after a solar eclipse. That is once every 36 Minecraft days. And so I missed the one yesterday, and I think I missed the one today, earlier. But I saw the solar eclipse today. So this night, Horologium should be showing up in the sky once it's dark. Okay, there's the moon. A simple one. It should only have 4 stars. Be here as soon as it comes in the sky, or it may be right here. So yeah, you need to be patient for this, but it's gotten. Now I need more more crystals. I need more perfect crystals, and then we can continue with the game. I'm afraid though that will have to wait for another time because we're already way over 45 minutes, which is very long for my episodes. However, I wanted to make this a bit more interesting and also a bit longer because at least for the next week, but maybe next 2 weeks, I won't be able to play Minecraft. The reason is I'm getting 2 new Rittens, which are baby rats, to be introduced with my older rats, and I need to babysit them for a while. And I won't be able to use my desktop computer. So I won't be able to play Minecraft or record for you guys. So I hope you be patient, wait for the next episode after this one, where we're gonna take these crystals and start making the ritual, hopefully, that I want to use to kill the withers, which was my purpose right now for Astral Sorcery, wither killing rituals. So thank you very much for watching. Please check out the links in the description for all of the FTOG YouTubers and streamers. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.